My name is Chris Measmer, and I am running for the North Carolina Senate District 34, which is Cabarrus County. I currently serve this district, seeking reelection. I was born and raised here in Cabarrus County, graduated from George Washington University with a degree in political science, and I'm a small business owner, a second generation business owner in the community. And I'm running for reelection because I love this community. I love Cabarrus County. I love the people. And I've been proud of the legislation and items that I have been able to work on in the North Carolina Senate. And I would like to continue that journey.
Thank you. What's one thing you would like to accomplish in your first 6 months in your new term?
Yes. So I was appointed to this position in April of 2025. And since then, I feel like I have been able to work on a lot of good pieces of legislation like the RAINS Act, Arenas Law, um, working on some regulatory reform. And those are things that I would like to expand on going into a new legislative session. The RAINS Act has been very important in trying to keep regulations and rules from being imposed on businesses that harm jobs and harm job creation. And this prevents unelected bureaucrats from being able to impose these new rules and regulations without legislative oversight. Arenas Law, we were able to make our communities in North Carolina safer by ending the cashless bail system for repeat and violent offenders. We've already been hearing success stories of that across the state of North Carolina. And the DAVE Act that I have voted on, which created the Division of Accountability, Value, and Efficiency, which is looking for waste, fraud, and abuse in the North Carolina state government. And I think these are all things that I would kind of like to expand on. Certainly, working on, as I said, regulation for businesses. I'm currently serving on the Regulatory Reform Committee in the North Carolina Senate, and there's a lot of good work going on there that I would like to continue.
How would you use your role in the General Assembly to support workforce participation and long-term economic competitiveness in our region?
Yeah, well, the workforce itself is very vital here in Cabarrus County, and we have well, not just Cabarrus County, but the state of North Carolina, and we have a labor shortage. I feel this as a business owner, and I think it's something that we need to work towards getting our younger generation prepared for work. During my time on the Cabarrus County Commission Board, I wholeheartedly supported our community college here to workforce development programs, things to get even within the public school system, programs that help prepare the youth for the workforce. And I think that this is something that we need to invest more in, and so businesses can find good quality workers.
What priorities would guide your approach to state infrastructure funding, and how should the state partner with local governments to support growth?
Certainly, infrastructure is a big concern in Cabarrus County. Cabarrus County is different from a lot of counties around the state. Many counties are actually losing population. Cabarrus County, we have had increase in population, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down much. So infrastructure is a number one concern. I think the state government plays a role in, well, they do play a role, but we need to play a bigger role in supporting the infrastructure. Um, I was appointed to the Cabarrus County Water and Sewer Authority as one of my commissioner appointments, and I've seen firsthand the needs for expanding our water and sewer capacity, and that's something that we need that infrastructure in place, and it takes years and planning. Now, the Water and Sewer Authority is doing a great job in preparing that. The state government has been helping with that. I want to see more help from the state as far as infrastructure with roads and water and sewer capacity.
Thank you. Over the next several years, what state level policy decisions do you believe will most influence Cabarrus County's ability to grow, attract investment, and maintain a high quality of life?
Well, certainly, I think a strong school system is vitally important. I think these workforce development programs that we've talked about to prepare individuals for the workforce, to give them the skills needed to perform jobs and to fill a lot of vacant jobs that are there. I think that's vitally important. So, my focus would be making sure that we have a trained, qualified workforce, good school system, that we have safety and security in our communities. These are the foundations of a community, and this would be my focus.
State regulations shape the business environment for employers large and small. How would you evaluate whether regulations are achieving their intended purpose without creating unnecessary costs or barriers for businesses?
Well, I do just that as a member of the Regulatory Reform Committee in the North Carolina Senate. This committee was created to exclusively look through regulations and statutes that hinder business development, business growth, that hinder job creation and maintaining these jobs. As I mentioned earlier, the RAINS Act was so important and critical. Um, that we got accomplished. We passed it through the North Carolina Senate, went through the House. It became law, and this creates oversight over departments and agencies from creating ambiguous rules and regulations that negatively affect job creation and the retentions of jobs. So I think there's still a lot more work that we need to do, and as a business owner myself, I understand how important this is.
How would you approach legislation that places new responsibilities on local entities, particularly when those responsibilities are not accompanied by recurring funding?
Absolutely. So I know this all too well by serving on the Cabarrus County Commission Board for uh, about 6.5 years. I understand how unfunded mandates come from the federal, the state government, and it ends up at the local government, whether that's city or county, towns, and any piece of legislation that crosses my desk, I look for that. I'm very conscious of making sure that we do not pass down any unfunded mandates to our municipalities. It's not a good way to govern. Not it's not appropriate, and so I'm gonna work with our local. Well, I do currently work with our local elected officials, and we work through some of these things. And as I said, any legislation that crosses my desk, I'm extremely conscious to make sure that we don't pass down unfunded mandates to our local governments.
Thank you very much for taking the time to interview with us. You have a minute and a half. Is there anything you'd like to add?
I would just say it's a pleasure and honor to be serving in the North Carolina Senate, to be serving the citizens and the taxpayers of Cabarrus County. I've tried to be the best servant to the taxpayers that I possibly can. Sometimes those are some tough decisions and things have to be done, but I'm here for to represent my constituencies and what they believe, and to make sure that we have a effective and efficient government.
Thank you.
Thank you.